I don't mean to be a party pooper, but you guys remember that toilet paper issue, the shortage that we had at the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020? Um, I actually don't, because prior to that I had stopped watching television and news and all that, and I was in nature and I really didn't pay attention too much to what was going on in the beginning of that whole pandemic thing. Um, but when I did have to actually go to the store, I was like, what is going on here? I had no idea. It made no sense to me whatsoever. And I'd ask people, why are why do you need so much toilet paper? Why is everybody buying all the toilet paper? Nobody can give me an answer. And I didn't go to the television to check. But it makes a whole lot of sense now. Welcome to another episode of A Few Minutes with Marvin. I inspire those who aspire to make positive changes in their lives. And today we're going to discuss the importance of toilet paper and why it was important back then. Because now it makes sense to me. So, yes, we're talking about your bathroom habit. I know it's a little unusual topic for a spiritual, channel, but I think in this context it's important because it has a lot to do with your health. And that pandemic whole thing just put it into perspective for me. So, going back into the probably early 2000s, I don't know how many of you used to listen to Howard Stern show like I used to. It's been 20 some years that I haven't listened to him. That kind of humor doesn't do much for me anymore. It used to. In my past it did. But I remember hearing one specific episode where he was talking to his staff and they were discussing their, put it bluntly, their wiping habits, right? Now, for most of you who did, any of you who did watch that show, you know that Howard kept a very regimented diet, turkey and baked potato or something like that, and and he had a clean lifestyle, and he was bragging about that he maybe used, one or, couple wipes, right? You know what I'm talking about. And then he asked all of his staff members, right, what were their, habits, and a lot of them had the same stories we all have. I had, where, it took a bunch of toilet paper, right? So when I looked back and thought about that story, made so much sense. Why was there such a scare about toilet paper? Because people use a lot of toilet paper when they use the bathroom. Number two, we're talking about, right, for those purposes. And now it makes sense to me. And here's the point of this whole story. I'm not just making a silly, bathroom video. That's not where I'm going with this. Howard Stern was right. We don't need to use that much toilet paper. Shocking, isn't it? And the reason I know this is prior to the 2020 pandemic, I started changing my diet, right? And, slowly but surely, and through the pandemic, that actually helped me keep my diet. I lost over 30 pounds during COVID. And at some point I started, I recalled that story of Howard Stern and I started monitoring my habit, right? Call it strange, but I just wanted to know. And I'll tell you what, it's been 2.5 years now, and I can really, I did my own clinical study on this, right? And I realized that the cleaner I ate, especially when I became a, quote unquote vegan, where I stopped eating meat and all that, but before that I had cut out some of the meats. I had cut out the fried foods, McDonald's and the junk food, the cookies and Oreos and processed foods, high fat, high sugar content food, and alcohol. I cut that all out during my transition. And yeah, I started using less toilet paper. And recently, There's a couple videos ago where I said during the holiday season, in the end of 2022, I started letting myself go and I started introducing some more of those high-fat, not bad food or junk food, but sugary foods. You know, the cookies and things like that. The holiday traditional things, right? I allowed myself to have those things. Well, pretty immediately, I gained 8 pounds. And guess what happened? I started using more toilet paper. So there's no coincidence there with clean eating habits, clean living. You don't need toilet paper. You don't see the animals going around wiping their butts, right? Except in certain cases, you know, it happens. But that's not the norm for them, right? Those cases when they did eat something bad, which, you know, they either found in the street or a human gave to them, which isn't good for them. That changed their habits too, right? And that's why they run around, scooting around, dragging their butts sometimes. But that's not the normal for any animal. It just isn't. And it's not the normal for us either. We're not meant to, you know, process so much junk that it takes a while to wipe. Literally, 2 wipes is good, should be, and can be. You may not believe this, but to show you that we have to start taking care of these vehicles. They're not meant to eat all this processed junk food, fat foods, trans fats, sugary, made from who knows what foods, including vegan options that are out there. We're just not. Our bodies are made to use the stuff that we put into our bodies in certain ways. All the food that we go, especially the grown foods, it comes from the earth, right? Because it has that energy. And those energies come back into us and we put it back out there. That's what's supposed to happen. It's a cycle. But if we keep clogging our intestines and stuff like that, then man, can you imagine what your insides look like? Really, we're putting stuff in our bodies that don't hydrate us. Even the water we're drinking, especially tap water, but there's purified water, distilled water, and spring water that's not hydrating us, right? That's adding more acidity into our systems. Guess what that looks like? Just like fruits and vegetables, our bodies oxidize, right, with acid. What does oxidation do to fruits and vegetables? It rots them. So we're literally putting stuff in our bodies that are rotting us from the inside out. Don't even know it. But the proof is there in your bathroom habits, right? If you take a while to wipe, you may want to consider changing your diet. Because what you're putting in your body is not good, and your body's oxidizing. I know that, you know, this isn't not your typical video, but it's one that's important and needs to be put out there. Especially if you're on your spiritual path. As spiritual souls, we believe that we can conquer anything, and we can. Right? But if we're still in the same habits of drinking alcohol, 1 or 2 a week, that's not bad. It really isn't. But it's the habitual addiction, right? Or those cookies that you can't give up, even if you're spiritual. Well, you'll do everything else right, but you need those cookies, and you need this, and you need that. Well, if here's the proof. Prove it to yourself. Is it really hurting you? Do your own tests. Check out your habits now. Stop eating those cookies for a couple weeks, and revisit that, and see that there's going to be an immediate difference. Because for me, it was so blatantly obvious when I started putting things that aren't good for my body in there again. That wiping thing changed, and now I'm real cognizant of it, and I'm going to continue to make my healthy choices. that's for me, right? But aren't you worth it too? Aren't you worth taking a look at things like that? You don't need a doctor to tell you that you're messed up. Your body tells you. Our bodies are miraculous. They give you all the answers that you need. You need to do something with those answers, right? Not just say, oh, my body's not feeling well. Maybe I should go, put more pills and stuff into it. Well, maybe not. Maybe just change what you're doing and add some good natural stuff. Doesn't have to be organic, doesn't have to be expensive. Just add something raw to your diet. One little change like that can make such a difference. Instead of cooking your broccoli this week, eat it raw, or just bake it. Right? Keep those nutrients in there. They're there for a reason, to help your digestive system. It's everything that we do affects our body. Everything, our thoughts, what we eat, how we act, who we hang around with. It's all frequencies, all vibration. So the more cognizant of putting better vibrational things into your body you are, the more your body's going to produce for you and give you longevity that you're looking for. And stop those aches and pains that don't need to be there. That the reality is we're putting in there ourselves. So this is just a video just to remind you that your body is your vehicle. You're the soul, the light behind these eyes driving this body. So you need to tune it up. Oil changes, right? Use better grade gas in this body, and it will last a very long time. Very long time. And don't put so many miles running around distracting yourself. Chill out a little bit. Put the miles on your feet walking in the woods. Those are good miles, right? Grounding in nature, barefoot, very good miles and good care for your body, which is your vehicle. So take care of your vehicle. Try that test for yourself. Check out, do the wipe test. Wipe before you start a diet. During the diet, just notice any changes, and when you really feel you're clean, you're gonna see there's a big difference. We don't need that much toilet paper. So change your diet, and you'll never have to worry about running out of toilet paper ever again, no matter what's going on in this world. And have an amazing day. So I'm not a health expert, but if you are looking to get on a healthier routine and you're already changing your diet and stuff, I am a spiritual transformational coach, but I'm also an instructor, a Qigong instructor. So if you're looking to get into those holistic healing modalities like Qigong and Tai Chi and things of that nature, and need a little help and push in the right direction, I can do that for you. I'd love to coach you through it. Here's a link to my website. Hit me up for a free 30-minute decompression session. Let's talk about your diet plan. Maybe I can share some of what I've done to change my life for me, and it might work for you. And if you like the contents of this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it, leave a comment, and subscribe to my channel. I'm truly grateful for you. Take care of your health, folks. It's not going to do it on its own, and nobody outside of you can do it for you, not even the doctors. Believe that. And have a blessed day. Thank you for spending a few minutes with me.